Today's video could really stir the pot, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I really do not think that Black Ops 4 Zombies is as bad as everybody makes it out to be. There you go, I said it. So let's shoot back to release day for Black Ops 4 in October. The Zombies community was literally on fire. I mean, it was in flames. We'd been given 4 maps on release day, which we had never ever had before in any Black Ops game or any Call of Duty game. We had so many Easter eggs to find, whether you're talking about mini Easter eggs or the main quest. We had little quests in between that also, we just had so much stuff to dig through. There was so much content, and now everybody is kind of, you know, some people really hate it, some people really love it, and it's a bit of a mixed bag. And I'm here today to tell you guys why I think that Black Ops 4 is really underrated, and people give it too much stick, and people complain about the littlest things that really aren't even that much of a problem. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into this video. The first thing that I hear consistently complained about in Black Ops 4 Zombies is the lack of the original perks from World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. And those perks are Juggernaut, Sleight of Hand and Double Tap. And I'm really sorry, but I think this is the silliest complaint that anyone can make, because I understand you get irritated because the original machines aren't on the map, because if anything I miss knowing the perk layout on the map, you know, where all the perks are on, say, like Call of the Dead or Ascension or Origins or any map from those games, you know, where you knew where each perk was placed on the map itself. I miss that aspect, I understand. But these perks are built into the game now. It's not like they're missing. Some of them, like Double Tap, is missing its faster fire rate buff, but it's built into the game. You just don't buy it from a perk machine anymore. Once again, Juggernaut is practically present in the game as well. It's just built into the new health system that we received in Black Ops 4. I know that most of the community got really angry because you don't get as many hits as you used to before you go down, like 5 or 6 hits in Black Ops 3, and every game backwards from that 5 hits guaranteed. But it's still practically present in Black Ops 4. It's just present in a new way, a new system. And if anything, you've gained more off of your spawn with this system, because you don't take 2 hits from the moment you spawn in at round 1 and go down. You get 4 hits throughout the entire game, and that even just depends on what sort of enemy hits you. I mean, if a vermin enemy hits you, you can probably take 5 or 6 hits itself. So it just fathoms me and stuns me how this is so much of an issue to some people. The only real issue we had at launch was that we had no way of obtaining Sleight of Hand or Speed Cola, the fast reload. And fast reload is pretty necessary in zombies because it can make the difference between you getting rushed and being able to kill the zombies coming at you. But Treyarch pretty much quickly corrected that, you know. Within, I think it was Dead of the Night, they'd patched in that once you had all 4 of your perks, including your modifier perk, that you receive Sleight of Hand and a faster reload speed. So that's also present in the game, and Quick Revive's a perk in the game anyway, so they're all really present. There's not many other perks besides Stamina Up that is also present in the game that I really miss. And in exchange for these perks being removed from the game as perk machines, we received the totally customizable perk system that we have today present in Black Ops 4, with 11 perks being released on launch day with the game, and we're now up to 14 perks with all of the newest DLC we've got. And I personally think that it's actually awesome. Yes, there are some perks that you run all the time. Like for me, I always have Stamina Up in my modifier because that extra sprint speed is fantastic, and I always have Dying Wish and Quick Revive on as well. But for any other player, they can completely customize their perk layout to fit their playstyle, and I just thought that that was a great move on Treyarch's part and didn't really understand why it was getting slated so bad. Gone are the days where Juggernaut takes up one of your perk slots forever because you need that extra health, and in with being able to allow the player to play the way they want to play. Another thing that I saw people complaining about all the time at release was the HUD, and seriously, is this really that much of an issue? At release we had blue screens, we had glitches, bugs, zombies die all the time, so many issues we'll get into in a little bit, and everyone's complaining about the damn HUD. I mean, it tells you what you need to know. It tells you your points, your health, it shows you your elixirs, it shows you what perks you're using. I don't see an issue with this. There were so many more things to be complaining about when the game had just released and it was completely buggy, hundreds of bugs I'm talking, and everyone was complaining about how the HUD looked. And even today, if you go through some of the zombie YouTubers channels and their comments are still complaining about the HUD. I know the HUD's not as good as it was. I do like the old HUD more than the new HUD as well, but it's not that much of an issue, man, really. But get it together, man. Oh my. Right, let's get away from the HUD thing before I end up on a flippy one. So let's talk about the rest of the creator class system, namely the equipment and the specialists that also came along with Black Ops 4's new creator class system. And to be honest, I think that most of the equipment is pretty good. I, for one, always run around with Wraithfire because Wraithfire is just the one, and I know that's the same for most players, but I think every bit of equipment in Black Ops 4 has its place. Sentry guns and claymores are really good for if you're playing old school zombie strategies, like camping in a certain area on the map, whereas Wraithfires, frag grenades and acid bombs seem to cater to people who are kind of running around the map all the time and training zombies up. And once again, Treyarch catered to the entire community, and I really value that, and I think it was a really good inclusion in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Specialists in Black Ops 4 were also a really welcome inclusion for me personally and for a lot of the community, but were also really mixed from a lot of other people. But from Black Ops 3's release onwards, in most of the DLC maps, if not all of them, we had a little specialist quest in the game, in the map itself. We had the little dragon in Gorod Krovi that you could have on your wrist and use as a flamethrower. And we had the Ragnaroks and the Horizondrak that were just a simple pick up all the parts and build them quest. So once again, these things were already present in the past game in Black Ops 3, and I don't really see what the problem is. The only difference really is that they had different levels. They could go from 1 to 2 to 3. And with each level that they level up in game, they gain extra abilities that benefit the players. So I really don't see what everyone's complaint about these was either. Now let's get on to one of the beefier sections of this video, which is going to be the storyline currently, whether that be the Chaos story or the Ether story in Black Ops 4, the maps that have currently been released for Black Ops 4, and the wonder weapons that have also come along with those maps in Black Ops 4. So at release, Black Ops 4 contained Blood of the Dead, Voyage of Despair, 9 and Classified. Classified being a bonus DLC map if you own the season pass, but it's still present there as a map. And ever since then, through the DLC season, we have received Dead of the Night, we have received Ancient Evil, and we have also received Alpha Omega. Now I can agree with the guys who are angry that the Ether storyline has only had remastered maps ever since Black Ops 4 came out. But that's not to say those maps are terrible maps. I for one wouldn't mind a new Ether map. I know it's been ever since Gorod Krovi that we received a new map, and it makes me angry as well. But that's not to say that these maps that Treyarch have remade and remastered are bad. You know, Blood of the Dead is a good map. I know it's only a slight expansion on Mob of the Dead, and there are some mechanics in there that people don't like, and the Easter egg is a bit but it's not a bad map. It's still a very enjoyable map, and it's still quite faithful to that Mob of the Dead that we all know and love. Classified is also a really good remake, personally. I might be being a bit biased, make your own opinion, but it is a really good remake in my eyes. You know, it takes a lot of the stuff that 5 did wrong, like the random teleporting in the labs, and switches it up so you can actually see where you're going now, rather than teleporting from one side of the lab to the other and having a load of zombies rush you and kill you instantly. It also adds a shield to the map. There's an Easter egg in there, and I know the Easter egg was bugged out when the game release, but at least it's in there still, you know, even if you do have to get to around 150 to actually get that cutscene. And overall, I just think that they did a lot of expanding on that map, and they did really well with what they did with it. Voyage and 9 were the first Chaos Story maps that we received on Black Ops 4 on disc, and anybody that you talk to that's played 9 will probably tell you that the map is a masterpiece. The pure simplicity of opening the pack-a-punch, pure chaos of just running around in the main starting room, and the map is just so much fun. The wonder weapons are cool, the boss fight and the Easter egg are awesome, and I think everybody loves 9 and has a place in their heart for it, you know. And Voyage, on the other hand, is not a bad map, but it's also not a great map. It's very complicated for a new player to get used to. It's very cramped, and the design is cool of the map, but I also do think it is a bit of a weak map, as a lot of the zombies community probably think as well. So now let's talk about the DLC maps that have come out for Black Ops 4. That including Dead of the Night, Ancient Evil, and Alpha Omega. And a lot of people really didn't like Dead of the Night, but I think Dead of the Night's kind of in its own league. But I'm one of these people that really likes these odd zombies maps, and when they try new ideas. You can't argue, however, that Dead of the Night has one of the best wonder weapons that was ever created in the Alistair's Foley. Sure, the quest for getting the gun and getting its upgrades is quite long, but once you have that weapon, its 5 different elemental effects, it's just so cool, and a lot of people will actually tell you that it's probably one of their favourite wonder weapons of all time. However, I do agree that the map does have a long-winded setup process, and it is very hard for a new player to come to terms with everything you need to do and get it done quickly. I mean, even bigger YouTubers probably take like 30 minutes to 45 minutes to even set up on this map, and that's probably the main drawback with Dead of the Night. Ancient Evil, which is currently referred to as the Der Eisendrache of Black Ops 4, and Alpha Omega are really good maps. Everybody seems to love Alpha Omega right now, the newest map. Even though it's another remaster for the Ether storyline, it is a very good map, and it is a rather large expansion on Nuketown itself. And there's so many storyline implications in the map, and the newest wonder weapons, well, not really new, but the new versions of the wonder weapon, the Ray Gun Mark II, are super cool, really fun to use. The quests for those weapons aren't ridiculously long, and they just allow you to play around and once again cater to many players' playstyles. And in Ancient Evil you have the 4 elemental hands, the Hand of Gaia, the Hand of Sharon, and I'm probably going to slew the other hands' names if I say them, so we're just going to call it the Thunder Gun hand and the Giant Laser Beam hand. Yeah, creative, I know, but those weapons are so much fun once again, and Ancient Evil's design is incredible. People were playing it for weeks after release and having a blast with it, and I even went back last night and played with it casually with a couple friends and was just having an absolute blast, just running around killing loads of zombies using those hand wonder weapons, and the map's just really consistent and fun, and you can kind of just go back to it like you could Der Eisendrache in Black Ops 3 and play it whenever you want. Overall, I think that Black Ops 4 Zombies has had a really good DLC season so far. All the maps are pretty good, all the maps are fun, and I'm really excited for DLC 4 for the Ether storyline and to see how it all finally ends. My only hope is that it's not another recreation, because I think that really irritates the community. Everybody just wants one last fresh map for the Ether crew, and I think they deserve to go out with a bang on that one. I think my only other complaint for the DLC maps currently is that the Easter eggs get solved way too quickly, and I think that kills a lot of the community vibe as well and the play of the maps, because most people get on day 1, they're hunting for that Easter egg, and as soon as the Easter egg's solved and people have done it for the first or second time, people kind of just bin the map off and never play it again. And half the time this isn't really down to the steps being like stupidly easy. This is usually down to someone like leaking the steps or something along those lines, but I'm kind of glad that the steps aren't stupid impossible like some Easter eggs have been in the past, because some Easter egg steps have been absolute chaos and stupid to solve, and at least this lets us actually get into them and even the casual players be able to do them. Alpha Omega has a really good Easter egg. It's not the most difficult Easter egg, but it's doable and it's a lot of fun to actually do. My only genuine problem with Black Ops 4 Zombies is the elixir system, and I'm not talking about the base elixirs because they're all pretty well balanced, I like to think. It's more along the lines of the epic elixirs and the legendary elixirs, because some of them are pretty damn weak, not gonna lie to you, but some of them are really damn strong. And I only ever seem to pull weak epic elixirs like equipment or join the party, things I'm never going to use and have never even thought about using. I think I have like 15 join the parties on my account now, and I don't have any perkaholics, I don't have any shopping frees, and it just seems that it's really hard to actually obtain these elixirs. And it just to me seems like another way to make the game pay to win and to make a lot of money out of the consumer, and it's just something that I think that they should take away. You know, if you want to include this sort of stuff, then kind of make it a fair way of obtaining this stuff, but right now it just seems impossible and I don't agree with it whatsoever, and that's pretty much my only complaint with Black Ops 4 Zombies. So in my final analysis, I really think that Black Ops 4 Zombies gets more stick than it deserves. I think Treyarch have done a fantastic job with the majority of it. There were a lot of issues at the beginning, like I said at the beginning of the video, the blue screens, the hundreds of bugs, the random lag outs, the Easter eggs being impossible, steps not working, and all that sort of jazz, but they've patched all of that out now, and I think a lot of people base their judgment on top of that, and if you can overlook that and go play the game now and give these things that didn't work in the beginning a go again, you'll probably find that they're fixed and the game is pretty well rounded now, and there aren't so many issues. I barely have any issues with Black Ops 4 Zombies now, and yeah, I just think that you should probably go back, give it another play, and base your actual opinion on that rather than how the game came out, how it released, and the problems that it had in the beginning compared to how it actually functions now as a whole. And yeah, that's pretty much been today's really long video, much longer than I anticipated it to be, but thank you guys, and especially if you've watched to this point in the video. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button below for me and let me know that you've enjoyed it, and maybe even leave me a comment telling me what your thoughts on Black Ops 4 Zombies are now compared to maybe a couple months ago, or even if you still don't like the game now, tell me why you don't like it in the comments below. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscription button and turn your post notifications on so that you never miss a video from me on the channel. If you want to follow me on my socials, go to Twitter and Instagram and follow me at Zephr Playing. If you you want to see me stream whenever I do stream, go over to Twitch and follow me at Zephr Play. And if you guys want any cool controller grips, controller skins, any thumbstick grips, or anything along those lines, including apparel, go over to fadegrips.store. Use my code Zephr20 for 20% off your order if you decide to buy anything. So for now, guys, I've been Scott or Zephr. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I put a lot of effort into it. I also hope you've had a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.